when the average person first glances at it, it doesn't seem too special. It's a small Audi sedan. For those who know, however, it's quite a bit more than that. There are visual cues, of course, that set your mind spinning. The larger honeycomb grille, that aggressive front fascia. Out back, you'll see a large pair of oval exhaust tips. Finally, you'll hear the thing. Audis aren't supposed to be loud, but this one is. It sounds different. You're hearing heritage. You're hearing motorsports history. You're hearing a 2.5-liter engine with just 5 cylinders, all banging away to give you 400 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque. I'm not just talking about one new car from Audi either. You've got a choice to make, and it falls between the RS3 and the TT RS. So we're dealing with Audi Sport, and Audi Sport is bringing us some very lovely machines. Case in point is this. This is the Audi TT RS, and those 2 letters at the end, RS, mean really sporty. No, that's not what they mean, but that is essentially what they mean. They mean that you're dealing with an Audi that's turned up. The wick is lit. The car is hot. There is action and excitement to be had. To experience some of this, I'm going to drive the car on the racetrack.
Oh man, you really feel a pull in the mid to upper range there. The torque's available from way down low, but right then it just really just kicked into gear. It was awesome. Wants to wiggle a little bit under braking, just like the RS3, which is frankly surprising, but other than that, it's super confidence inspiring. You can go very quick in this car, comfortably so, really. That little wiggle under braking is interesting. It never feels like it's going to get away from you, but it's just surprising. I can just see the car in front of me wiggle too under braking. Really does it on the downhill. But to really get a taste of the car as it would be for the average everyday Joe who can afford the $65,000-ish price tag, we have to take it out on the street. We have to leave the cozy confines of Lime Rock Park. So under the hood, we have an inline 5-cylinder turbocharged engine. It's making 400 horsepower, and it's paired with an S-tronic gearbox. This isn't the normal S-tronic gearbox. This one is revised for RS goodness. The Quattro system is revised for RS goodness as well. The suspension, all of it is tuned to make this car more enjoyable. Now this has the same power plant as the RS3, and that's a fun machine if you want to put people in your car and then go fast. If you don't need to do that, you can spend $10,000 more and get this, which is more focused than the RS3. They have the same engine, yes I know. This one is faster to 60, and it's a more tightly focused experience. That's because when you start with the TT as opposed to starting with an A3, you're starting with a vehicle that was already a little bit more sporty in its focus to begin with. The A3 is a passenger car. The RS3 is the entry-level car in the RS experience. So here, the TT RS turns it up just a little bit more. It's just a little bit more tighter, a little bit more focused. The chassis just feels excellent. Now, under braking, these cars exhibit a surprising amount of wiggle. The body moves around a little bit, but it doesn't feel like the car is going to get out of sorts at all. It just feels like it's the wheelbase, or it's all the weight on the nose from the engine. Something is making it dance a little bit under braking. Under power and in corners though, whew, the steering tuning is excellent. The power delivery is wonderful. The noise, inline 5,
Oh, that sounds good. Now this has an optional sport exhaust. You hit a button. If I hit this button, I'll put it back to normal. Engine sound standard. Just wait till it shifts. All right, quiet. Hit the button. You're not going to really pick it up, but it just got louder. I'm sure that won't come through in the mic, but it did get louder. And I've been saying this with every successive new Audi I've driven. The sound is so much better than it used to be, and it's no different here. This is going to be one of the best sounding cars in the Audi lineup outside of the R8 itself. This is like half that, because this one is 5 and that one is 10, so it's half that. I love the use of the Alcantara on the steering wheel, and it's a flat bottom steering wheel. You've got, funny enough, a little bit of Alcantara on the shift lever here, which it's not like you're going to be rowing gears, because you have your shift paddles up here. You can keep it in sport, and it's a pretty smart enough gearbox where it downshifts into corners for you if you're really on the brakes, and it's a comfortable ride. But if you grab a paddle, it quickly just grabbed a lower gear. It's a perfect gearbox for this car. You have Audi's virtual cockpit in here, which you expect to find, which is one of the best systems on the market. The display is gorgeous, and it makes sense to have it where the driver wants it in a car like the TT. And where you would normally find it in regular cars, you have the controls for the heating and cooling, which are mounted on the dials themselves. I've always liked the way that Audi, when they changed this, I think this is such a cool feature, and it looks great. So now we jump over to the RS3. You're going to see more of these ones on the street because it's more affordable. I just think you'll see more of these. It's more practical, if an RS car can be practical. I mean, I guess it can, because this is a 4-door sporty sedan. Sporty. We have that same i5 turbo under the hood as the TT RS. We have that same gearbox. We have the same RS tunings and upgrades to this car to make it more enjoyable, like the TT RS. Now, this one is $10,000 cheaper, which is funny because you get more room. So maybe you can do more with this one. You can bring more people along at least. It's not as sporty looking as the TT RS, but how is it? Pretty good. Same fun noises, same fun engine, same solid gearbox, and an RS tuned quattro system. So yeah, it's a fun car. The TT RS is the one that's more dynamically focused. This one's about letting more people into the party, which I enjoy. I like sporty sedans. I like having more fun with more people in a given vehicle. There's a few things I like more about the TT RS. It has the cooler steering wheel in that car, the one that's basically borrowed from the R8, with the start buttons right on it. The drive select buttons are on it. Here the drive select is in the normal position you're used to, under the vents. The start button is down here by the shift lever. So it's a small change. So the RS3 represents the entry point into the RS family of cars, and it's a good place to start. It's a small, nimble sports sedan. I mean, 400 horsepower on tap. This is faster than a CLA 45 and an M2 to 60. Audi quotes 3.9. I wouldn't be surprised if it was just a few ticks faster. You have the Quattro all-wheel drive system metering out all that horsepower and torque right from the get-go, so all four wheels grab and go. This thing launches like a rocket ship, and it's really fun, and it has launch control. So you have the car in dynamic mode, you hit the traction control button once, and now it's in ESC Sport. When you come to a stop, put your foot on the brake, put your other foot on the gas, the revs will rise to a certain point, hold it there, brrr, and it goes. Go! On the outside, you have pieces that reveal this is a more pumped up RS without having to dive under the hood. If you get the sport exhaust, they're black tipped. The regular car has small exhaust pipes. The S version of the S3 has quad tips. This has big dual oval tips. There are plenty of visual cues to let you know that this is not an S3, not an A3, but the RS3. They did a really good job tuning the steering on this thing. It just feels properly weighted and comfortable. I mean, there's some feel there even too, which is getting more rare by the day. So this is a car that you could commute comfortably to and from work. You could drive your family around in it. And then as soon as the road gets just like a little bit twisty, grab a gear, put it in dynamic mode, and just cane the damn thing. Away we go. Balance through the first corner, look into the turn, spot the cone, clip that mother effing apex, and power out. Oval tips. Drink your oval tips. But the RS3